Morning, everyone. This is my second attempt of making this video because I just recorded a blank screen. Super fun. As you can tell, I'm very happy about it. All right, we're going to try to get a better attitude as we go through this video. Today, we're going to be learning about George Washington's farewell address, and we're going to be analyzing it, okay? All right, video instructions will obviously be here once I finish making this video. Your agenda today, attendance right now while we are all online is by showing up for class. If you are unable to show up for class, bring in those packets and you will be counted as present once we receive those. Hopefully we'll see you guys starting again in January. Go ahead and open up the Google Slides, which you probably already did if you're watching this video. Go ahead and we're going to do our notebook in just a second. Then we're going to watch about a 5.5-minute video clip from Hamilton to kind of introduce and give the mood of the farewell address. And then we're going to analyze George Washington's farewell address. Okay, so our learning target for today, we are going to analyze George Washington's farewell address in order to reflect on how well the nation has followed his final advice and warnings. So we're going to be reading this document not just because I think it's great, but also because it has relevancy to us today, or at least I guess you guys will get to decide whether or not it's relevant today. So go ahead, we're going to read through it, we're going to see, does it still apply today? And we're going to reflect and see, have we actually listened to what George Washington said? For your in today, how well do you think George Washington's warnings apply to the United States today? So as we do that reflection on the relevance, do you think his warnings do apply today? And if so, do they apply directly? Or maybe have times changed enough that it doesn't apply as much, okay? Today's date is November 18th. We have the same essential questions as we had for this unit, which we're almost done with. Go ahead and pause this video, fill out your notebook, and we'll resume in just a second. By the way, the vocabulary is built into the assignment today, and that's why it's not here, okay, because it's quite a few words. All right, pause, do your notebook. Welcome back. I'm assuming you have your notebook done because you are back. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, so we have a little bit of an introduction into the farewell address from our favorite musical, Hamilton. It's a song called Say Goodbye. It's based on George Washington saying goodbye. A couple of things I want you guys to be thinking about here as you watch this 5.5-minute video clip. What was happening in and around the country when Washington steps down as president? What's going on politically in the country? And maybe what's kind of going on in the world that would maybe not make it the best time for him to retire? He thinks it's a great time. It's up to you whether or not you agree with him. We'll find out. But yeah, what's kind of the context for him retiring or leaving office here? Then second question, what did he want the nation to learn by him saying goodbye? What did he want the nation to learn by him stepping down and retiring from being president? Okay, be thinking about those things. I think this song does an excellent job of setting the mood and kind of the feeling around how George Washington wanted the farewell address to be understood. Okay, so go ahead, watch the video, answer the questions in your notebook. Once you're done with that, go ahead and move on to the next section. So pause the video, do that. It's excellent. Then we'll move on. Welcome back. Next section. All right, so George Washington's farewell address analysis. We're going to go ahead and go to the document because it has all of these instructions in the document itself. Okay, and you guys can just open up the document attached in today's Google Classroom. So let's go ahead and get out of here. And let's take a look, open it up. All right, so some of this is going to be filled out because I already did this once. We'll go over some of it. So our directions, let me move my face out of the way. We're going to analyze the excerpts from George Washington's farewell address to discover his last words of advice and warning to the nation he helped begin. So I found a few excerpts that kind of hit the three main points that he makes throughout it, because otherwise it's an 11-page document, and I didn't think you guys wanted to read 11 pages. It's very long. Good, but long. Okay, so we're just going to read a couple excerpts that hit on the main points. Each of the 4 sections will be analyzed through a 3-step process. I know I just said 3 main ideas. We're going to take a look at his introduction because it's really cool as well as those 3 main ideas. Okay, there is a 3-step process we are going to go through as we analyze each of these documents or each of these sections. Okay, first is define vocabulary. We're going to use Google and context clues. Okay, this speech, he's talking about political things, things about the country. As we'll see in just a minute, we have a vocab word resolution. It's probably not referring to TV, like 4K resolution. Probably talking about something else, okay? Read and mark the text. Use the section titles and questions to guide your reading. Feel free to mark the text as you go along. I'm going to leave that up to you exactly how you want to mark the text, whatever is helpful. And then analysis questions, okay? I should put a dash in there. We're going to answer the analysis questions under each section of the text. Okay, so there's 2 to 3 questions at most under each section. Okay, and then lastly, there's a fifth section of the assignment where we're going to do the actual reflection and see how well this relates to today. All right, so you guys have vocabulary at the beginning. Okay, so I went ahead and defined these on my first recording. So a prize, if I went to Google, it tells me it's to inform or tell someone. We know for a fact that George Washington loved to inform the people, and he is writing an address, speaking to the people. So this seems to make sense. He would be informing the people of something. Resolution. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that means. We're going to go to Google, and then we're going to type in resolution. See what pops up. A firm decision to do or not to do something. George Washington's a man that likes to make decisions. That seems about right. We're going to see over here it's talking about that like TV resolution. We're not talking about 4K here. We're definitely talking about making decisions. That makes a lot more sense. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and type in to make a firm decision, and we're going to say take action, because the definition said to make a firm decision to do or not to do something. Well, choosing to do something and choosing not to do something is essentially taking a stance or taking action. Okay? He is going to retire. That's to stop working and leave a current job. He's going to retire from being president. All right? Then we have a fun phrase of tender of service. Okay? I think I know what that means, but I'm just going to look it up and give myself a little more. I have to spell it right. Just to reassure myself here. That's not super helpful. Can't find it. All right, well, let's just look at the text and it'll help us. Sorry, that wasn't super useful. So if that happens, then we have to use the context of the text. And if then you still don't get it, then you can contact me and I'll help you out. All right, so he says a bunch of things, choices being made to, in withdrawing the tender of service. I am persuaded that in the present circumstances. Okay, so he's removing the tender of service. Okay, so tender of service, you can kind of think of it like a contract, but it's the time spent serving the country. Specifically, that's what he's doing here. Okay, the time he has spent serving the country, he is removing himself from that contract of being president and serving the country in that capacity. Okay, so he's going to withdraw that kind of contract. We can put contract in parentheses here. Okay. All right, I'm going to go ahead and read through it. It appears to me proper. Oh, I'm so sorry. I skipped a portion. It starts up here. Friends and fellow citizens. Love that. That's how he introduces it to everyone. That's how he says hello. Okay, we'll talk about that, what that means in just a second. It appears to me proper that I should now appraise you of the resolution I have formed to decline being considered among the number of those out of whom a choice is to be made, and withdrawing the tender of service. I am persuaded that in the present circumstances of our country you will not disapprove my determination to retire. I wish your union and brotherly affection may be perpetual, the free Constitution be sacredly maintained, its administration stamped with wisdom and virtue, that the happiness of the people of these states may be complete. That's so great, guys. All right, question number 1. How does he address the people he's speaking to? Well, let's look. He says, friends and fellow citizens. Guys, I'm getting into the second part of this. What is the significance of using those words? So how does he address them? As friends and fellow citizens, okay? What is the significance of using those words for the people of this country? Oh, man, he's making himself equal to everyone in the country. He's not putting himself higher. He's not saying the people I serve, Americans. Like, he's he's a part of them. They are equal to him. That's so cool. That's what the significance of that is. What is his resolution? Well, he's very long-winded here. He says to decline being considered among the number of those out of whom a choice is to be made. Well, what choice would be being made right now? Well, knowing my context clues, what is he retiring from? President. Oh, okay, so he's retiring. Okay, he's no longer going to be president. He's declining to be considered among the people who could be potentially the next president. Okay, so his resolution is he's going to retire. Lastly, what does he wish for the country? So we got to find wish. By the way, if at any point in time you're like, I know the word I'm looking for, I just can't find it in the text again, you can use Control F. Look at what I did for the last recording. You type in wish. There it is. Wish. So he says, I wish your union and brotherly affection may be perpetual, the free constitution be sacredly maintained, its administration stamped with wisdom and virtue, and that the happiness of the people of these United States may be complete. So he's wishing for a few things here. That our union and brotherly affection, that love like you have for a sibling, a brother or sister, that we have that between neighbors and all the people of America. Okay, that may be forever. All right. That the free constitution, that it be maintained, that this idea of the law of the land and the constitution be maintained, that the people in charge of us have wisdom and virtue, and that we will be made complete with happiness. That's what he wishes for the nation. It's pretty cool. All right. So you guys have 3 more sections of text. One about unity. One about the enemy of political parties. He calls them the enemy of America. And then neutrality. He talks about not getting involved in foreign affairs. This last section, you're going to reflect on, one, how relevant what he talked about is to today's America. Is it still relevant? You decide. And 2, how well we've done at listening and following George Washington's advice. All right, everyone, I've got to get to my class now, since this took 2 times to get correct. Otherwise, have an excellent day. If you have any questions, let me or Mr. Hallwigner know. And as always, thanks for listening. I will see you in the next lesson.